Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan has finally arrived, and we, the Muslims, long for its arrival every year. But Ramadan in Palestine is different. Ramadan will be different this year. Why? We in this country live in the outskirts of Al-Quds, in the outskirts of the blessed Al-Aqsa mosque. We cannot separate Ramadan from Al-Aqsa mosque, as if there is no Ramadan except with Al-Aqsa. This is the story of our life in Ramadan. A relationship with Al-Aqsa, like the relationship of the soul to the body. Can a body live without the soul? So what's the story? What's the problem? It is not just a story. It is an issue that is as big as our entire nation. It is a story the size of the earth. In current events and the crazy war on Gaza, the Israeli government wants to prevent us from entering Al-Aqsa mosque and praying there during Ramadan. Okay, is this ban only due to the ongoing war? The answer is no. This is not the first time that the occupation has prevented hundreds of thousands of Muslims from entering the mosque in Ramadan and outside of Ramadan. The ongoing war is a pretext behind which they want to achieve the greatest goal, controlling the mosque gradually, step by step, until they reach what they dream of, building the temple on the ruins of Al-Aqsa Mosque. The occupation uses security reasons related to the current events in Gaza as a pretext. Therefore, they decided to prevent us from praying in our mosque. A few days ago, I listened to an interview on one of the Hebrew radio stations with a member of the Knesset from one of the right-wing parties. He said, "Let me ask, do Jews who pray in the synagogue take stones with them? What is the need to bring stones into the synagogue? It's a prayer." So I ask Muslims, why do you carry stones with you to Al-Aqsa? Go and pray without stones. It's funny, really funny, but at the same time, tragic. In fact, no one enters Al-Aqsa with stones. This is just a slander. If the police do not allow food to be brought in during Ramadan, how can they allow stones to be brought in? Is it really? Do the police see the food but not the stones? That's funny. That's ridiculous. The question that should be directed to the Knesset member, whose name I don't remember: why do they prevent Muslims from entering their mosque? When a Jew goes to a synagogue, is there anyone who prevents him from going? Is there anyone who determines the ages of those entering for a prayer? When he goes to the synagogue, is he surprised by hundreds of heavily armed police, border guards, and special forces with throwing faces, searching the Jewish worshippers, asking for ID cards, searching them, forcefully pushing them, beating them, and trampling on them? Are they kicking the Torah book with their feet? Did you see them dragging your woman to the ground? Have you seen them disperse the worshippers in the synagogue with tear gas and rubber bullets? Has it ever happened that the police arrested a Jewish worshipper in his synagogue because he insisted on praying and demanded his right to pray? Did it happen that the police barriers were set up in the streets to prevent buses of Jewish worshippers going to Meron to celebrate Halilat Meron, for example, from arriving? Who said that Muslims enter Al-Aqsa with stones? The police often do not food to be brought in. How do you allow stones to be brought in? What kind of comparison is this? It is ridiculous. My question is, this is a mosque and nothing else. So what are all these forces doing in the mosque? Why are these forces besieging it with all these numbers and this brutality? If a country in Europe had done this to a synagogue in London, Paris, or Rome, what would have happened? The world would have risen and not stopped, and these people would have been accused of anti-Semitism and persecuting the Jews, and the government of the free and civilized world would have taken action in defense of their right to their synagogue. Let's go back to Ramadan. What is their problem with Ramadan? Why does Ramadan cause them so much anxiety? My friend, the problem is not Ramadan, but the occupation. It is in the occupation's practices against prayers during Ramadan. It is their practices of extremist settlers who insist on storming the mosque permanently. Ramadan is innocent of being accused. The fault is not the fault of Ramadan, but the fault of the occupation. Ramadan is a month of goodness, blessings, and bursts of faith, memories and hopes. There is no Muslim family in our country that doesn't have memories and remembrance of Al-Aqsa, and that Al-Aqsa has a place in their hearts. So despite everything, despite the unfair ban, Al-Aqsa will remain in Ramadan, and Ramadan will come to Al-Aqsa every year. No force on earth can change this fact. In Ramadan, it is recommended to pray and seclude yourself in Al-Aqsa mosque, and Al-Aqsa will be decorated with worshippers and secluded people. Peace be upon Jerusalem. Peace be upon Al-Aqsa. See you in Al-Aqsa. See you in the next episode.